Welcome to Ken's Show and Tell on this beautiful middle of October morning of 2023. This is what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be taking out my 1954 Chevrolet 210 Deluxe, a four-door sedan. All right, check the fan belt. Good. Let's check the water. Just right at that little tab. I might want to add a little more. Let me check the oil here. And I think I will add a quart. And before we do that, let's turn on the heat. Opening up this spigot, which allows water from the engine to enter the heater core. Hicks oils 20W50 with lots of zinc. Let's see, I put about a pint in there, and let's just see what the stick shows. I think we'll go ahead and put the full quart in there and we'll be good to go. Let this oil continue to drain in the engine, and top off this radiator with a 50-50 mix. All right, she is full. Didn't take that much, but might drain out a little bit here. There it goes. Oh, fluid caps replaced. Now we'll pull the 6-volt battery tender off. The 6-volt battery, I've kept this car with the original 6-volt system. Never been a problem. And even has its mechanical fuel pump intact down there. There's your 235 cubic inch, 115 horsepower, straight 6, called Stove Bolt 6, also named the Blue Flame 6. It has one of the first, well, 53 and then 54 were the first 2 years that Chevrolet did full pressure oiling on their engines. You can see the original 6-volt generator under there, and I've had that generator rebuilt once, and this is a replacement 6-volt voltage regulator that I put in at the same time I had this generator rebuilt. And I've redone the brakes on it several times over the years. When I first bought this car, this is 2023. I bought this car back in 1984 or thereabouts, and from an estate auction with 15,000 miles on it. It now has about 115,000 miles. It was my everyday driver for a while, but it has been my toy for many years. One of the things that happens to these old cars with mechanical fuel pumps is that when they've been sitting for a while, the fuel filter and the fuel pump itself becomes empty, and so you have to crank to get it to move fuel from the tank up to the carburetor. This is what I've done to solve the problem. Hear that? That's a low pressure 6-volt fuel pump, and it will prime the tank. It will prime the carburetor for me and the fuel filter, and it'll make it much easier to start, even after sitting here for several weeks. Once it starts, I'll shut off the electric fuel pump and we'll go straight to the mechanical. Let's see what we've got here. All right. Do the automatic choke with your foot. That. Now let me turn off the pump. There we go. This clock works. It's just wound down. I don't know the correct time. The car itself doesn't have a radio. It does have a couple of add-ons. It has a Powerglide 2-speed automatic transmission, which was come from the factory, ordered. It has a heater, which is right under here, which is a dealer installed option. And it has a fuel filtration, an oil filtration system, which was a dealer add-on. There's the dealer add-on oil filtration system. Fuel filter full of fuel. Cold idle. Good. Cabin heater turned on. Noticed I've overfilled the radiator, so it's coming out of the overfill hose. That's all that is. All right. Ready to take her out. The car has been repainted once. It's original factory colors. The chrome on it and the stainless and the aluminum is all original. I don't remember what this actual paint color is called, but obviously it's two-tone. And you see it does have some honest wear right there, which I'll not do anything about. I've never seen the factory fabric underneath these dealer installed seat covers. Although I did take these bench seats off in the front and repad them, but I didn't have to take any of the upholstery off. Just had to take off the hognose rings underneath there, holding it together, and take the stress off, and then put the padding underneath it and put the rings back on. This is all original in here. The dash, all the instruments. Here are your controls. Fresh air vent right here for the driver. This is your lights. Vacuum operated windshield wiper right here. And then over here is your cigarette lighter and vent operated for the passenger. And then your right down there is the switch I showed you for the electric fuel pump I added, emergency brake, of course just 2 pedals. Here's your switch for your heater. Need your key on. Fresh air intake vent right there. Dimmer. And then you can see your heater up there. And right here, hidden, is your ashtray. And I used to smoke back in the day, and here's some damage from that. And then there's your glove box with the light still working on the inside. Here's the dome light, original headliner. And we'll open this up. Little dehumidifier sitting in here, and of course mothballs to keep the mice at bay. Works great. Original grab bar here for the rear passengers. Ashtray. Of course, manual windows. Even though electric windows were available for the 210, this is a pretty basic setup for the 1954 Chevrolet 210. Inside of the trunk has never been repainted, so that gives you a peek of the original color and original paint. All the sound deadening material is intact. Spare tire, original jack, extra oil. You never know about these extra oil. You never know about these old cars. Of course, whisk broom for the inside. Original floor mat. Here is the original glove box. The interior, the light, nice little 6-volt light works well. All the little felt lining is intact. The heavy metal door. That's the contacts for the horn, for the turn signal, well, for the horn actually rubbing against the metal there. Every now and then I do squirt something down there to take care of that, but we'll just have to put up with that today. Get a gander of the inside again. Okay, let's start this thing up and go. I installed these seat belts a number of years ago. Get ourselves clamped in. All right. We are engaged. Shifted from low to whatever that other gear is, from 20 miles an hour all the way up to whatever the top speed is of this thing. I don't know what it is. That I think the fastest I've ever had it was maybe 80 miles an hour, way back. Not anytime soon, or at least not anytime in the immediate past have I done that. Now, at least for the past 15 years or so, this has just been my cruiser. Before I retired, about 7 lower speed limit than out on that road. So I can do this with one hand. It's not that I need the other hand so much for shifting, because I don't. It is a 2-speed power glide, by the way. But it doesn't have power steering. So that does make it at times needing 2 arms. I think this is a fairly quiet car, given I'm running with the little vent window open right here, and it's got all the original window sweeps and rubbers. Now the door rubbers that seal the doors to the body, I replaced those, but that was a long time ago. However, they are not original to the car.